Good morning. This is not Monday morning. In fact, if you're seeing that it's Monday morning and you think it is Tuesday morning. So you have missed Labor Day. But I was taking Labor Day off as well. Hope your extended weekend was absolutely stupendous. We are here back with you on this awesome Tuesday morning for the 11 a.m. Monday morning marketing webcast. I figure we can make up all of our rules that we want, redefine our terms, et cetera, however we feel. So anyway, great topic for you this morning. Google they continually share information. If you don't follow the Google AdWords blog, you probably should, because they do release a lot of really helpful and very beneficial information. So some of us are more in tune with that than others. However, as the holiday season approaches, it is September 7th right now. I can't even believe we're talking about the holidays. However, us marketing people, we need to be prepared because we know it's coming and there's a huge opportunity for us. So for those of us that have e-commerce websites already and are already selling business, we can actually dramatically improve that. There's some really cool tips that we're going to be engaging with you today. For those that don't have the opportunity right now for e-commerce, it has never been a better time. I'm actually thinking about several of our clients that are more in the service-based industry. I'm thinking like chiropractors. I'm thinking even like AC air conditioning people. I'm thinking about, the related products and services to help your clients do a better job of not only helping your individual clients, but also to put a few coins in your pocket, right? Because you have experience, you have intellect, you have an insight into products or other things that, other people might need in order to improve their health, their comfort in their home, et cetera, et cetera. And that's valuable information. So I would challenge you right now, if you're not currently selling things online, go do that. And even, to be quite frank with you, even my daughters, they're into soaps, making these soaps, scented soaps and things like that. I just bought a lighting kit online because I read the article. I'm like, you know what? They really creative stuff, right? And not that it's going to, take over the world and act as mom and dad's retirement, but at the same time, also stemming into learning about business and e-commerce. And it's a gentle way of getting into that. So yeah, could you take 5-10% of your time every week and go ahead and engage in potentially an e-commerce situation for your business? It might be the right time to do that. So we're going to cover some things. The content from this article really kind of stemmed from one of my friends over, Matt Hedergall at Google, actually. He's their VP of, I believe, the merchant, Google Merchant. And Merchant is basically kind of like the shopping. And when you see Google Shopping, that's kind of the connection point for Google Ads and your online sales and things like that. So Matt's got some really good content in this one article. I will share that link with us. So definitely check it out. Facts the case, right? More shopping is being done online. Shocker there, right? Also, a lot of people are giving us the signals from an e-commerce standpoint that they're going to be shopping earlier. And the reason why they're going to be shopping earlier in the season is not just because we're pushing sales, although that's important, but they're kind of worried about some inventory getting locked up and them not being able to purchase what they desire. So I'm going to walk through kind of today some of the things that you can do to achieve more sales online during the holiday season without sacrificing that beloved margin, because it isn't just about reducing your price. So we'll get into this. In fact, that's the first point. It's not just about cutting your margins to prompt the sale. You can also think about, just consider something like the fact that we had COVID, right? How many of the businesses that we see as we drive through our communities are now doing the order online, pick up in store, right? And how often is that actually being utilized? Now that's part of our normal lifestyle at this point, whether it's groceries or, printer paper or whatever the case may be. We've gotten very accustomed to this. So being present, not only from a national perspective and selling online and all of that, but also from a local perspective. Even if you're a local one-person shop, in, Ellington, Florida, right? For example, I'm thinking of a specific retailer, actually, very old school, very unique product. Could she actually go ahead and do that? And the answer would be probably. I mean, it's pretty easy. If I can book a product online and do a pickup, you send the text information, in that order information, you have a text that you've given them when they are with instructions. When they show up, just text this number and then we bring the product out. Real simple stuff. So, but being present in that online environment at the local level is pretty important, right? So we're going to highlight a couple things. Highlight customer options. This is the first tip that Matt gives us. And he says, yes, 78% of shoppers will shop at stores who are doing free shipping. Guys, this comes up every single year for all of our clients. Do I have to offer free shipping, or should we offer free shipping? Guys, when 8 out of 10 customers are going, yeah, I'm only going to shop at retailers that do, free shipping, that's the price of entry at this point. So however you manage that, you do. I don't know what to tell you. That is the part that we're just going to have to sacrifice. Now, you can build value into your product offering so that people are willing to pay more, whether that's convenience. And some of these tips are exactly what is going to allow that to happen. Okay, so I'm just going to read the quote out here, and let me go ahead and pull up so you can see my screen. You know what I can do? I'm going to actually just share. I'm going to share the images of this sucker with you. So I'm going to copy the image. I'm actually going to put this into this really elaborate system called Microsoft Paint. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you guys can see this. Share screen. There it is. Window, sure. Screen 1, absolutely. Allow. Fantastic. Okay, so now you can see this. So I'm going to read just basically a quote from that Google AdWords blog. By the way, this article came out at the end, I think it was August 31st of obviously this year, a couple days old. So, but he's got some really interesting technology updates for us that we can take advantage of. One of those is what we're looking at. So the article piece actually says, today we're announcing new shipping and return annotations in Google search and shopping results. So you can kind of see them here, right? Across free and paid listings. Yes, I said free listings. Well, more to come in that in just a moment, okay? As well as paid listings, so you can run ads against it. Shocker, shocker. Shoppers can now see their orders will arrive with the shipping annotations, such as, quote, free delivery by Friday, December 24th, or get it by December 24th, or free X day, whatever day, right? For products that ship and free in 5 business days or less. So those are things that you can annotate now that you may not have been aware of that would be helpful for your guests and probably increase conversion, I would assume, because we all want to know, right, that kind of information. Also, he goes on to give shoppers more confidence in their purchases. You can now indicate extended holiday return window times and return annotations like, quote, free 90-day returns, or, quote, free returns until January 31st. So this would be very, very helpful for people when your product is being displayed like here, to be able to provide so much more information other than just the information that is in the normal Google Shopping ad. So you can see it right here and right here in our normal Google Shopping experience. So very, very good stuff there. He goes on to say the second point that he's recommending is, basically get your product in front of more people. Now, I am going to, let's see here. Okay, so there's a couple things going on with this one. Let me go ahead and copy this image. I'll send this over to us here. Okay, get rid of that. Boom. Okay. Oh, you can't really see it. Now you can see that a little bit better. So that would be good for you. So he goes on to say, basically get some of the stuff in front of people. Now, we talked about e-commerce websites. You guys have Shopify, WooCommerce, or GoDaddy accounts. A lot of you guys do. It is really, really important to potentially note that you can use this Google, and I just downloaded a few minutes ago, Google Free Shipping. You can actually see, not free shipping, it's the actual plugin for like WooCommerce, by the way, is called Google Listings and Ads. some of you go, well, I've never heard of WooCommerce. How do I know if I have a WooCommerce website or a Shopify website? If you have a Shopify website, likely you have an account and you're already in that, you already see that, and you're logging into that. If you've had somebody set up your e-commerce website before, you may not know that that is occurring. So what ends up happening is you can actually, real easily, you can actually see, you can right click on your screen when you're looking at your website with the product pages. Actually right click on it, and you could probably just do a search for WooCommerce, and you'll see that show up in some of those listings. So that's pretty cool. WooCommerce by design, if you can catch it, it looks similar to WordPress, right? So yes, you can use WooCommerce in various aspects, but a lot of times those two things are pretty well synced up, and there's other ways to search that too. All that to say, guys, if you have a WordPress website, and a lot of you do, especially as local businesses, because it's easy, it's fast, it's simple to manage, all that fun stuff, to add WooCommerce to your site is really, really quite easy. And integration with Stripe, your bank, right? Authorize.net, which is a payment gateway processor to keep people's stuff secure, is very easy to actually engage, right? So even if you only have like 1 or 2 or 5 product or variations of that product, it's quite easy to do and very simple to do, okay? So you can indeed sell product online. Now, the benefit and why I'm spending so much time in this, you guys, is that once you have these shopping cart solutions set up, literally they can feed Google the information, and they can feed it in a free way with that plugin I just mentioned a few moments ago, Google Listings and Ads, or it can do it with actual ads, and it can make that process a lot easier for you, okay? So the quote from the actual article from Matt is, seamlessly sync your products to show up on Google for free, and boost your products to reach, when he says boost, that means advertise, your products to reach even more shoppers with smart shopping campaigns, to utilize machine learning or shopping campaigns to maximize control. That may sound like a lot there. So Google when they talk about machine learning and AI, if I pipe something to Google and I say, I can tell Google, hey, I want to go and sell this product. Google has some pretty sophisticated technology that's custom to the person, whatever they're searching on their phone or desktop or whatever the case may be, to target those individuals. So the shopping campaigns can be these smart shopping campaigns can be very, very effective. You do need to give them a little bit of time, by the way, on the front end, because they need to hit users in order to determine as they serve these particular pieces of content in different areas, they're evaluating that. Well, part of that is you have to be patient enough to let it get some information in the hopper so it can start making some some changes to the program and optimize it. So if I send 100 leads to this group of people and 100 impressions to this group of people, and these people never click or engage, Google's going to kind of minimize that, right? Whereas opposed to this one, if they're buying it like 5, 10, 15%, Google's going to start sending more and more traffic, that specific ad content to those individual guests because it's converting more, right? But you need 200 people. You need 200 impressions in order for that to occur, in order for that decision-making process to be statistically valid. So just keep that in mind as you're going through this stuff. But either way, when you feed Google with those shopping listings, it'll show up in that shopping area. Where's my mouse? There it is. It'll show up in the shopping area. So when you do that search, you can actually see it. And a lot of us have been on shopping where even if we didn't even know it, right at the top where you see the products after you do the search, and it shows the products and things like that, the costs and everything like that. And you click it and it takes you to the product page, right? Oh, you're not even seeing this. So there you go. Now you can see it. So, a lot of us have used shopping. We don't even know it. We do the search for a product or service. And at the top of Google, or in this case here, as it's coming up in search, you see the products with the prices. You click it, it takes you to that individual merchant's page, right? It's Google Shopping, right? But what they're saying is too, in the coming weeks, we're actually going to be able to not only do this with YouTube video, right, where we're actually creating virtual storefronts where we can showcase our product, but also this is going to show up in the discovery ads. So you're going to see basically what that means for us is these discovery ads allow those ads to be seen by a much larger group of people which by design potentially allows us to reach those guests that we wouldn't have necessarily been able to get a hold of before. So very, very cool stuff coming down the pipe as we do this. And those are the product feeds. So again, the reason why I said Shopify, the WooCommerce, and GoDaddy is there's some really neat tools in there, especially for WooCommerce, that allow for that to be done pretty well automated. So you're not like having to upload stuff and everything like that. It just takes basically the product name, product, SKU, product images, pricing, sale price, weight, all of that, and it just feeds it to Google. And then basically, since it's got that content, you can decide where you want that to show up. Okay, that's probably a pretty decent takeaway for it. So the next thing I want to talk about says connect with shoppers in the physical world. So this would be point 3, guys. So when we talk about connecting people in the physical world, the near me terms have been like explosive over the last couple of years, right? In fact, so much so 200 to 300, sometimes 400+% increase in those near me terms. So if you guys aren't working on those, I don't care if you're a national business or regional or state or local business, you need to be focusing in on those terms. Literally, they're probably about 30% of the search volume that we see across our campaigns. You don't want to minimize 30% of your potential sales revenue. So again, good stuff. So things to consider, right, with that. Google My Business. A lot of us have Google My Business listings. I'm not sure. You know what? Let me bring this one up again. We'll just go ahead and get rid of that and bring that in. We are going to show you an example of what that looks like. All right, so here, so Google My Business, right? You can log in. If you do not know your Google My Business listing information, a lot of times you want to do a search, you'll see claim this business on that top right-hand side. For those of you that have, I'm sure you know where it is, business.google.com, managing that, keeping that up to date, even things like holidays and stuff like that, if you're going to be open and closed, that's where you manage that stuff. And it'll often look kind of like, like that if you actually click that stuff on that right-hand side, if you're in a desktop format or something a little bit different in a mobile, which is what you're seeing here. So, but keep that product area fed, all right, and manage that. And that's free, guys. So think about in-store pickups and curbside. In fact, look at this right here. They've got the annotations directly in there, and I think that this is pretty new as well. I don't know if it is or not. I think it's relatively new. I've seen it before. It allows you to annotate stuff, and you can do that in Google My Business. The other thing that's not mentioned in here is post, right? So when it comes to Google My Business, it allows you to post content as well. So just like a normal, like a Facebook post or something of that nature, and that can be video, that can be product, feature product, that can be just a normal post of information like news, events, etc. Try to keep that updated. Have some campaigns kind of in the funnel to make that happen. That way you get your product message out there. That makes that stuff on that right-hand side a lot more sticky. So have you ever done a search, especially if we're looking for a lot of, if we're doing research for somebody, like which gift we do in comparison shopping, a lot of times, even though, we're focused very heavily on mobile, a lot of times still in research mode, we tend to like a larger real estate piece. Okay, so think about what that search query is and be guided by it. And you can look at your analytics, by the way, to see if that statement is more consistent with your business, or maybe it's not. But you can look at your analytics to actually see that based on even keyword as to which systems people are accessing that specific piece of content. Okay, so really good stuff there, guys. To note, the last thing, number 4, is prepare for the rush using automated formats. So you can, with WooCommerce and even products and services launches, you can create products to launch and then set the time as to when those things are going to launch. And you can even do the same for basically your ad serving technology as well. So there's no reason why you have to be really late. Let's say you're going to launch on September 31st or whatever it is. Oh, is there a 31st in September? How about September 30th so that it's live? You don't have to be there that night making sure everything is being clicked on and that there's campaign funding and stuff like that, because you can set these campaigns up well in advance. Now, the benefit of that is twofold, really. First, you've already thought about those programs. You've done your research. You understand what those products need to look and feel and sound like in terms of campaigns because you've tested it. So you've had the opportunity to build a lot of content into that you wouldn't be able to do in, let's say, a 6, 8, 10, 12-hour period of time. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is, because you've had the opportunity to put that content in there, you've also thought about the performance goals and which products those need to be. So look at your current sales online, right? Or your current sales in store, a combination of both, and determine which products have the greatest opportunity to rock the world when it comes to your sales and for the holiday season. So these are just a couple of really good tips. I'll go over them one more time again as soon as I can find my mouse. I think I need my glasses here because, man, I just can't really see as well as I used to here. So number one, highlight the customer's options, right? So there's plenty of ways for them to buy from you. Please make it easy for them and give them the information they need in order to see that. Get your product in front of customers. So using technology like the feed information from Google with WooCommerce or Shopify shopping carts, go ahead and do that. It saves you a buttload of time. It makes your stuff far more accurate. And by the way, it'll actually, a little side note here, Google is looking more and more at the consistency of your regular shopping cart pages as well as the ones showing up through, your regular e-commerce pages and your shopping cart pages. So those things need to be more consistent. There used to be like some slop in there, right? Or you could set different things and if it didn't match exactly or the price wasn't, maybe it was off by 25 cents or maybe you decided to lower it here but not here. Google's looking at that much more intensely now and they want you to be accurate and consistent across their network. So make sure you do that. You will get flagged and your stuff may not run when you want it to set up. You'll be like, oh, there's an error. Great. Now you need to go back and try and fix it. And sometimes, depending on how large your company is, that could be a real interesting thing that takes days, which means you're lost out on sales, which is horrible and not good. And somebody needs to be spanked for that. So be prepared. Number 3, connect with shoppers in the physical world, right? So remember, keep the near me terms. Update that Google My Business profile, make sure you're doing stuff there. And then also feed that Google My Business profile with some content, whether that's video, product, features, all of that stuff. And then prepare for that rush, right? So set those campaigns up with performance and you guys will be rocking the house during this holiday season because you will have done everything you're supposed to and you'll have done it well with reporting that is consistent and measurable and able to be optimized. So I hope that helps you guys today, even though it's Tuesday as opposed to Monday. We will see you next week on Monday for the 11 a.m. Monday morning marketing webcast. I'm your host, Chris Bernard. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Bye-bye. As soon as I can find my mouse, I'm going to go shut this off then.